Now, after Apple stunned the market last week, two more tech giants are sounding the alarm for profits in the fourth quarter. First up, Samsung. It says operating profits were down nearly 30%, putting the blame on weak demand for memory chips and China's slowdown. Even worse figures coming through from LG, also from South Korea, estimating a 78% slump in profits. Now, that's far below what analysts were expecting. We've got Samuel Burke joining us from the world's biggest tech expo, the CES in Las Vegas. Samuel, these numbers are so shocking. We thought Apple scared the market. When you've got Samsung and the likes of LG coming through with these kind of expectations and profits, I mean, it's really bad news, isn't it?
Eleni, shocking yet not surprising. There was some guidance on this, and if you look at what happened with Apple, it was really a bellwether for what would happen with Samsung and likely the largest, and likely some of the other large cell phone companies. Now, this is what everybody is talking about at CES, because this really tells you what's going to happen with all the other markets that depend on these companies. And if you think about it, it's not just the intense competition for that space in the cell phone market. It is also the fact that Samsung said here that this had to do with the amount of chips. So if chip demand is not high, that means that there is low demand for many other products besides just cell phones. No, they didn't blame China and the trade war directly, but they did talk about the macroeconomic situation. So the people that I'm talking to, the analysts who are here, say they're reading between the lines, and they do feel that the trade war is already affecting many different companies, and they don't have to be Chinese, they don't have to be American, and they believe that this just proves that you can be a Korean company and be affected by everything that's happening between the U.S. and China right now.
Absolutely. I mean, when I look at these numbers, as we said, 30% down for Samsung and 78% down for LG. Is there a sense as well that structurally companies need to think differently about the gadgets, about the technology that they're offering consumers? Because at the end of the day, it's consumers that aren't actually buying. So a trade war might be playing out. You might see tariffs and so forth, but consumers are not feeling comfortable to go out and spend.
Let's take exactly what you're saying and connect it to another story that's playing out here at CES. You talk about maybe people aren't buying as many gadgets. Maybe it has to do with the macroeconomic situation, but maybe it also has to do with the fact that gadgets are lasting longer. Samsung has led the way in waterproof gadgets. Analysts have long been sounding the alarm that the more waterproof gadgets you have, the less people are going to need to update those gadgets. So what does that mean? A company like Samsung and Apple has to pivot more to be a services company. Apple just announcing yesterday, as you reported, that they're going to make some of their TV services available on Samsung. That just shows you companies like Apple know they can no longer be the iPhone company, and that closed ecosystem that you and I have been talking about for years, Eleni, they're starting to open it. Apple doesn't want to be the iPhone company. They want to be the services company. That's going to be Apple's narrative as they try to pivot that way in 2019.
And LG coming out with some really cool TVs. We know that they've really been focusing on that, hoping that that is going to perhaps turn things around for them down the line.
Eleni, I try to be very judicious when talking about televisions because for years here at CES, we were talking about 3D televisions, and skeptics like you are saying, come on, Samuel, that never came to fruition.
How much better can TVs get?
A lot of TVs... Can you imagine us in too much HD? We just don't want to see ourselves that way. But listen, I want to just show you some of the standouts. You'll look good. I don't know about me. But some of the standouts that I saw that I think are actually going to impact the market this year and in the coming years. If you start number one with a transparent television, OLED technology now, so powerful that when the pixels are creating their own light, they don't need to have a backlight. So you see this maybe for commercial purposes, but imagine a time when your bedroom window is a transparent screen. Yes, you can see outside, but maybe you can put up a poster for your favorite music group there, and things can change from night to day. Another television I saw that really stood out to me are these portable screens. Could be TVs, could be monitors, but they're becoming so light that now the TV makers are looking at making docks. So you can just pick up your screen, spin it around, and move it from your kitchen to your home office. And lastly, and I think this one was the most impressive and really tells us where TVs are moving, this is an 88-inch screen. Eleni, and what it does is it doesn't have a speaker below, it doesn't have a sound bar hidden behind. The sound is built into the screen. That means that the image, the sound can follow the image. So if there's a car racing across the screen, that sound can just race across the screen with it. You can't hear it at home, but it was so cool to be immersed in that sound and felt like you were more a part of the picture.
That's very awesome, Samuel, but I hope the makeup companies are listening because they're going to come up with better products to help us out.
Oh, I hope they're listening too.
Thanks, Samuel.
For me, not for
Appreciate
you.
it. Thanks.